My father was a commercial fisherman until pirates captured his ship and killed him. My mother was consumed by grief and fell into a deep depression. At 12, I had to become the leader of our family, giving up my studies to assume the role of mother for my younger siblings. The 5 of us crammed in one tiny little room in a house full of other families. Often, we didn't have enough money to eat. But when the fishing company gave us a large sum of money for my father's death, I thought it was the answer to our problems. But my mother and her new boyfriend gambled all of our money away. I fought with him a lot, one time even slashing him with a knife trying to kill him. Eventually they ran away, leaving us to fend for ourselves. It was a difficult time for us, but got worse when she returned 3 years later. She said, "There is a wealthy old man who will give me money for your sister." But she was only 15, and I would do anything to protect her. So I said, "Sell me instead." My mother brought me to a brothel where none of the girls could escape. The owner bought me for himself and kept me in this nightmare for 2 years. My worth was only $140. As a child, a Christian friend told me that God loves me and Jesus forgives evil, but I didn't understand. God is perfect. I am a sinner. How could He ever accept me, especially now that I was so filthy and unlovable? Most Thai people know that pain and suffering is a result of our immoral choices. At my lowest point, I received a Christian brochure from a stranger. I prayed to receive Jesus into my life as it stated, but I didn't feel any different. If God really loved me, why did He give me such a bitter life? While I do good deeds, many immoral and corrupt people have such happy lives. God is not fair. I decided to become a Buddhist nun. I went to the temple every day. I chanted and meditated and ate vegetarian. Also that my sin would be removed. But my life did not improve. I lost hope in any religion. I put my faith in myself and opened a noodle shop. I lived without faith or hope for 10 miserable years. My life just went up and down. Then Sue walked into my noodle shop.
We would go there and eat at her noodle stand, and she had some questions. But they still were very guarded questions, and I just wasn't sure where she was at. She was still very guarded.
I was afraid she came to cheat me. My life was full of deception, and I was cynical that this foreigner could be telling me the true story of God. I prayed, "God, I want to know who you are. If Sue is from you and can provide me with answers, please bring her back to me." I prayed that for days. Then one day I felt like God said, "Sue will come back tomorrow." I woke up early to prepare everything and wait. When Sue walked in, I was extremely elated and knew that this person was a true disciple who could tell me God's story.
She was just sitting there waiting for me, and she said, "Oh, I knew you were going to come today." And I'm like, "Oh, what if I hadn't come?" After she started reading the Bible, things started to change. One of her first questions was, where's Santa Claus in the Bible?
Sue came to my shop many times to teach me about God. But when she invited me to church, I was hesitant. I wanted to go, but there's so many burdens with my shop, I felt I couldn't. One Saturday, I prayed, "God, please help me to sell all my noodles so that I can go to church tomorrow." By noon, everything was sold out. That was the first time ever. But then I wondered, what if it was just a coincidence? I was filled with doubt and changed my mind because I sold so well on Sundays. I prayed for a miracle. And for the second day in a row, I completely sold out. This time, I knew that God was real and He had listened to my prayers. I wouldn't run from God anymore.
God has prepared people already, and we need to meet them. 4 months after we met her, she came to church and accepted the Lord.
I love Him with all my life. When I got to know God, I was overwhelmed by how He accepted me as I am. He gave me true peace.
She has this little noodle stand. Every time she had a chance to somebody ordering noodles, she would share the gospel. She just had a passion. She wanted everyone to know. She was just praising God. She got to minister to that person, encourage that person, and pray for that person. People just came and were eating noodles, and she could see a little tear in her eye, and they just poured their heart out to her. She said, "This is wonderful."
I want to tell everyone about Him. God was calling me throughout my life, but because of my difficult circumstances, I abandoned God. But God never abandoned me. In fact, God used the hardships in my life. If I had a very comfortable and good life, I wouldn't know about suffering or be able to understand other people's sufferings. There are many Thai people out there who are searching, but there isn't someone who will go and tell them. So I have to be that person who will stand up and tell them about God.